Let's watch how this works here. I am time warping. I did open that chute way high, but it doesn't look like the planet's going to rotate enough. We've got the chute popped. We've actually floating down. I've got time acceleration on. You may notice that it's 4x time acceleration instead of full time acceleration, right? Jump off a cliff anyways for DOS. I thought you were going to tell me something about Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb being better or the same or something like that. Anyways, we're not going to land on the land. I really tried. Sorry, Solar Weapon. I didn't know you couldn't swim. You probably should have not lied in your astronaut application, your Kerbonaut application. When you come to the academy, you're supposed to fill out the application. Anyways, we're just floating on down. Again, there's 100 meters. We're going 10.5 meters per second. So apparently this chute is just not enough to carry this tank and this engine and the pod. Let's see if Solar Weapon survives. 10.4, 40, 30, 20. Brace for impact, Solar. There you go. So we lost the engine and the fuel tank, but Solar Weapon's pod, which has the higher impact resistance, lived through it. That's perfectly good. Solar Weapon, congratulations on your successful mission. I can float. You just don't get out of the pod. Just don't get out of the pod. Alright. Somebody was asking what the name of the star in the center is, and we've been talking about it. If you come over here, you can actually see that the name of the star in the center is actually just Sun. Everyone in the community calls it Kerbal. It probably needs to be fixed. K-E-R-B-O-L, right? But in the game, it's just called Sun, which is super boring. It needs to actually be called Kerbal. Here. We should have a vote. I'll put a survey out later. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll tweet out a survey, and we'll see how many people want to get it renamed Kerbal. I'm sure that's been done before, though. I'm sure that's been done. Anyways, let's go on back to the VAB. Continue working on our rocket. We had some problems. That rocket did not make it to orbit. I really need to drink. Can you take a surface sample from the water? You can, because that's the surface, right? That's still the surface. Here's what I need to do. I need to drink some. I need to take a minute of a break. Just not talk as much. So I'll read the chat and I'll respond to chat. I'm going to make myself some tea. We are going to work on this rocket. We are going to get this rocket into orbit. When the rocket gets into orbit, giveaway hype. As soon as we get it into orbit. So let me refresh my tea here. There we go. Let me get my... You know, technology is amazing. I've got a thermos here. I boiled some water before the stream even started, which was now 3 hours ago. The wacky thing, this water in this thermos is still insanely hot. That's a vacuum for you, I guess, huh? Yep, it's still steaming. I don't know if y'all can see it on the camera, but it's actually still steaming, and I boiled this water like 3 or 4 hours ago. So let me redo my tea here. There we go. Let me put the thermos back together like that. I actually got a thermos out of my camping gear specifically so that I would not have to get up to do my tea. I solve practical problems. Let me toss another one of these in here. And I am going to read the chat in just a second. Let me just get my tea taken care of here. I'm going to talk for 8 hours straight here, guys. Actually, more than that. If you like Minecraft, after Kerbal Bootcamp, I'm going to be participating in something called Ultra Hardcore Minecraft with some of the KSP TV streamers. We'll be doing a contest, like a team-based kill everyone game, and see who can survive the longest, be the last man standing in Minecraft. That's coming up after this stream, but we still have like 4 hours left on this stream. So, let me do this number. Let me put that in there. Let me actually eat one of these right quick. And let me read right here. Vacuum thermos is very strong. Vacuum thermos, very strong. I like it. Let me get caught up with chat. Guys, remember, you're watching Kerbal Bootcamp. We're doing Kerbal Space Program for beginners, people who want to learn about the game, who want to learn to be better at the game, who want to learn mods in the game. What we are going to do here is get up there. If you think that this is basic for you, right? If you've already got this stuff down pat, you're like making space planes and stuff, this bootcamp thing that I do every other Saturday is really intended for new people. You'll probably still learn some stuff. You'll probably still learn some stuff hanging out with us. Maybe some keyboard shortcuts you didn't know, some tricks of the trade, building tricks or something like that. I learn stuff every stream, and I'm the one doing the stream. People teach me things. So even if it seems a little basic for you, I do appreciate you hanging out. Remember, as you hang out and watch, you gain credits, Academy credits. We're going to use those for giveaways. We're giving away copies of KSP. If you've already got a copy, you can totally give it to a buddy or something like that. But that is Kerbal Bootcamp, teaching new people that they can do things in Kerbal Space Program, explaining it out the wazoo. Right now, I'm going to go back and scroll through my chat and see what's been going on. See what's been going off. Yeah, and Gav, you're right. It's totally on sale right now. 18 bucks. It's a ridiculously cheap price for the game. And if you buy the game right now and you win one of the giveaways, I'll reimburse you the 18 bucks if you prove that you bought it today. I should almost just say if you won the game, I'll just reimburse you for it, but I don't know, huh? I'll have to think about that. What else did I miss? Where's my chat beacon? I could actually just find beacon, I think, right? My beacon is already scrolled off. Chat has scrolled so much that my beacon's not even there. It's not a gravity turn, DOS. I know, Infun. It's a, what is it? It's an orbital pitch maneuver. It's an orbital pitch maneuver. Yes. Hang on a minute. At the start of career, can you blow engines off the bottom if you didn't have decouplers unlocked? Intuition! Or intuition, actually. Absolutely. You'll see some of that on Scott Manley's videos where he's doing minimum part counts or early on missions, and he actually blows the previous stations off by firing an engine pointing at a stage like that and using that to destroy the parts underneath if you don't have the decouplers. That is absolutely something you can do. Musical Tanks and Mixter, gotcha. I was gonna pop the chutes. I was like watching out of the corner of my eye trying to like keep eye contact with the camera before I pop the chutes. That explosion could be used as a thrust, a very dangerous thrust. Nice. How much wood could a Kerbal mercenary blue? You're hilarious. What's up, Robota? How's it going? Why don't we use separators? Oh. That is an interesting question. Chris Dog, wow so lucky, Hjolvir, I think you pronounced that. Welcome, Kerbal Bootcamp. I appreciate the follows. That was a good question right there from Inalishian. Inalishian, I think I'm going to say. Inalishian asked, why don't we use separators? I was talking about these things right here. The decouplers. There's another set of parts above them called stack separators. The difference between a decoupler and a stack separator. Moses, thank you, or Mose, I don't know how to pronounce that. The difference between a stack separator, oops, a stack separator and a decoupler is the color, and that's all. I'm just kidding. The stack decoupler, only one side separates from the part. So you see the arrow right there? The arrow right there? What you can do, right like that, when you activate this decoupler, it will blow away this part and stay attached to this part. So when we're done, we won't have space debris or anything. We'll actually keep that stack separator, stack decoupler actually, attached to this, and all of this will fall out and crash into the ocean on its own. This end of the rocket will come free, and in fact that fairing will stay with this as well, and the rocket will fly away with its engine, right? If I use... No, absolutely not. Inalishian, you are not asking too many questions. Welcome to boot camp, and I appreciate you asking questions. If we use a separator instead, the separator has explosives on both sides. So when I do the separator, this end will come off, this end will come off, and we will end up with something that looks like that. We will have an engine or a fuel tank here, a separator floating free, and an engine here. I really don't use the separators very often. It's really hard to kind of come up with a use case for them. Like if you had two engines like this that you needed to separate and you needed to use both engines, if you did a stack decoupler, the stack decoupler would stay on that engine and so you wouldn't be able to use the engine. But if you used a separator like that, when you separated these stages, when you activated that stack separator, you would end up with something that looks like this. An engine, a separator floating free, and an engine, so both engines would be unencumbered, unhindered, or whatever. Unhindered. Alright. Okay. So I think that's the stack separators. Let's keep going up here. We need to harness it. Oh, let me go back to this. I don't need any of this stuff. Let's get rid of that. Let's do that. Let's go like that. Alright, back to chat. Continuing to chat. My tea is brewing right here. Controlled explosives. I love it. Staging, we got it. Parachute stage. Oh, another good thing, since y'all said staging. Over here, in the VAB, I actually need to do this. Do you see right here underneath the chat? Over here on... Wait, terrible weatherman. Over there, do you see underneath the chat, right? Right over there, you see it? You can actually do the staging in the VAB. So what did we fix? We added a new stage, and we dragged that down. I know it's just right there on the edge of chat. But... in the VAB is the best place to fix your staging. In fact, it's not a good idea to do it on the pad, because then the next time you launch the same rocket, you may forget to do it, and your rocket may burn over, fall down, and sink into the swamp or something. So, you can do the staging in the VAB. Instead of the left-hand side, it's the right-hand side right over there, just underneath my chat. Another thing you can do, and I'll actually turn off chat for this one. Another thing you can do There we go. You can actually combine stages. So remember, first spacebar does this, second spacebar does that, third spacebar does that, fourth spacebar does that. What if you had two things you wanted to happen at the same time? For example, you wanted this engine to activate at the same time that that decoupler went. You can actually drag that engine down like that, get rid of that stage, and now my first spacebar will do that. My second spacebar will do two things. It'll actually activate that engine and decouple it. The order doesn't matter. They all happen at once. It'll activate the engine and decouple it, and then the third spacebar press will do that. This is the normal way that I do it. It's just simpler, less chat, less spammy staging up and down the side, right? That is what I usually do. I try to combine the things like that. So, let's bring chat back. There we go. And I'm going to continue reading chat. Again, welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. We're doing some giveaways. You're earning credits just by attending the Academy. You'll be able to use those credits to participate in giveaways for Kerbal Space Program. If you want, buy the game. It's on sale for 18 bucks, which is a freaking steal. And if you win a giveaway, I'll reimburse you personally for it. We got the... Okay, we explained the triangle and the decoupler. Yeah, we're good to go there. Parachute stage again. We just fixed that. Add mercenary in while you're here. Huh. I still need to do that. The crew placement will be persistent in the next update, so any Kerbal you place in a ship in the VAB will stay even when you modify parts. That is awesome. That is a huge thing. That's going to be a huge thing to fix, Darth Andrea. Thanks, by the way, for coming by. It says Oler Kermit. It was just clipping his name a little bit. Can we put multiple command modules on a rocket? Inhalation. Can we put multiple command modules on a rocket and have them decoupled into multiple rockets that do different things? Absolutely, Inhalation. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. You could totally put multiple command pods on there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There are other separators that we'll get into, but you could totally make a rocket that looks like this. Oh, I can't copy it. Shucks. You could totally make a rocket that looks like this, putting these other separators on there. You could put multiple pods on there just like this. That's a great idea, Inhalation. You could do that. You could launch 5 Kerbals to space at the same time if you wanted to. You'd need more power down on the bottom of the rocket, right? Ow, my eye. But that is totally a thing. That right there totally works. It's kind of like the Trident quad spear of orbital shenanigans or whatever. But that is completely a thing. You can load more than one command pod, more than one Kerbal into the rocket at a time. We'll come back to that, though. Cybertech, we are going to go over that. Engineer. Jade Fox, are you hitting on me? Check the cute DOS. I think you meant to say shoot, maybe. When was I shouting at you to add something to engineer? What are you talking about? No, my space mission. You're all good, Solar Weapon. You made it into space. You made it into space. Chiptunes. Thank you, Johnny Lowe. Welcome back, by the way. Jesse 911. We're doing Kerbal Boot Camp. We're acting like you've never played the game before. We're getting you to orbit. Right now, we're building our rocket. Have the crafts orbiting Dune and Eve. I'm so happy. Jam session. Congratulations. Good job, Cadet. I appreciate the mission report. Add mercenary. I need to do that. Yeah, I need to do that. Where do you get your moon landing rockets? Thrustly, did you ever get a craft? Yeah, Gav's got your back. Gav, thank you so much, man. Is it better, worse, or no matter to put the decouple and the new motor in the same stage, DOS? Lieutenant Haas, usually for just efficiency's sake, it's not a big deal to just put them in the same stage. It kind of reduces the clutter. There may be some instances where the engine in the remaining stage may kick or destroy or hurt somehow the stage that it decouples from. So you may actually need to decouple them and let them float apart some before you actually activate your other engine, or you may want to throttle down that other engine first. So there are some situations where you may want them in separate stages. For simplicity's sake, here at KSA, we're just going to go with one stage like that. Musical tanks, DOS, can you explain? Gravity assists, absolutely. Musical tanks, but not in boot camp. That's a more advanced topic. Come find me in my stream sometime. Remind me, and I will do a gravity assist stream where we just for 2 or 3 hours do a Kerbal Space Academy advanced session on gravity assist. I will get you going with that. Bevo, by the way, Bevo, what's up? How's it going? Question, is there a way to get rid of those empty stages other than activating a new stage? I've tried the minus sign in the past. I'm pretty sure they don't remove all the... You're right. They don't. They don't, I don't know, I think it's a little bit buggy. I think that if there's no part in the stage should automatically get cleaned up from the rocket. They are annoying and they make it really confusing as to what's going to happen next whenever you press spacebar, right? I really think they need to get cleaned up. It would be really great if there was an active stage that was a different color or something, and then there was the rest of the stages, so you could see if your bottom stage had been activated or not. That would actually be a really great idea, so that the activated stage would be there. And if you dragged an engine down into the activated stage, you would know that pressing spacebar wouldn't activate the engine because it's already in the activated stage. It'll get skipped over. Maybe that's a way to fix it. Just change the color on that bottom stage. Inhalation, what is the yellow circle in the nav ball? Prograde heading. Prograde heading. It's basically me pointing the way that I'm moving. Me pointing the way I'm moving. I'll get it. EM1 Epic, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Nasio. Nasio. Good job, Das. Now I want to play KSP again. Awesome. Play right now. Fire it up. Apogee and perigee is the way you learned at university. Okay, we're all the way back there. Kerbal is the planet. Kerbal's the sun. Yeah, we went over that. Prefer your Mountain Dew. Jump off a cliff. How does lithium braking work in the water? It's hydro braking then, in Elysian. It's called hydro braking, but it's pretty much the same. Das, can you take multiple surface samples? Yes, Foxhound Ghost, you can take surface samples from the water. Diet, or Dr. Pepper is my non-diet soda of choice. Darth Andrea, loving fresh prunes, one of the 23 flavors. In Elysian, I will cover your launch profile. I will cover the most efficient speed to launch at. And Das will cover it in a bit, I'm sure. Yep, you're exactly right. Drink any Pepper. I drink tea quite often. More like insulation. I missed something. I said something, and when you just say, like, more like insulation, I'm like, what? That was like 30 minutes ago that I said that. I don't know what you're talking about. Creeper Face. Is Das new to KSP? Wait. I'm not new to KSP. Creeper Face 123. Sorry, I'm sort of new to the stream. Is Das new to KSP? Seriously? And is still trying to get into orbit. No, I'm not new to KSP. I'm actually teaching people how to get into orbit using the stream, Creeper Face. You're struggling to get to Jewel. Come on by one of my streams when I do an interplanetary transformation. You'll see some of the Kerbal, the Space Academy class Majesty interstellar cruise ships. They carry 127 Kerbals, 5,000 meters per second LW. I'll do some interplanetary transfers using those for you and teach you how to do it. Made a variable swept-wing bomber. Nice, Blipman. Congratulations on being able to destroy stuff. Atomic Kitty. It's funny to see the situation Das gets into. That's cool, Atomic. I'm all good. My KER doesn't throw me thrust to weight in Delta V anymore. You're going to have to give us a screenshot of that one. Kerbal Engineer doesn't show you thrust to weight in Delta V anymore. It may be because you don't have an engine. It may be because the engine is completely thrust limited. Nasia, I'd really need a screenshot of what you're looking at there. Claudinius, the engines, it said that's not working like that anymore. Last time I tried, you could not unstage with the burning engine. You can do it. You can do it. It's just that not all engines will be able to destroy all parts. So it depends on the mass and the distance between the two as to whether or not an engine will be able to destroy a part that it's attached to. You're not asking too many questions, Elias. Separators also blow off anything attached to the sides of them. Really? I didn't know that. That's cool. Huh. I'll have to try that at some point. Use stack separators on top of docking ports when I need more stability on something that needs to come off. That makes a lot of sense, Darth Andrea, using a stack separator on top of a docking point. I'm scrolling through chat really quickly. Mona Bobby didn't know about separators. Das, that's awesome. Thank you. Say you've built a rocket that has a ship pointing up and a ship pointing down, and you got to your point in orbit where you should change the slope inclination. Would you use a separator to make the two inclination ships separated? Yeah, you could totally do that. You could totally do that. You could use that to carry a cluster of satellites up and separate them off so that you didn't do that. Sundhog, it just started today with the credits. I've got two, so I can leave the game open for full screen. I do have the game open, and I'm reading the chat at the same time. I am answering the questions, though. Use KOS. DocDat. That's actually really cool. I need to look at KOS. Some people in the stream are very talented with KOS. If Soul Wager's around. All bad. I will teach you how to use that maneuver to get to the moon. I saw a docking port. They are basically decouplers that can be recoupled in space. Docking ports, you can actually dock two craft together, like a space station with a docking port on it, a little craft that comes up and dock to it. That's absolutely right, Elysian. I think the suggestion was maybe an active stage thing. That may fix it, right? I mean, that's probably the intention, right? That's the active stage. It just doesn't have anything in it. That may make a lot of sense. Rovier, what's the maximum velocity? We're going to do that right now. Let me do this. Wow. I need to do a chat. Joss is new to KSP TV, right? KSP TV dinner, so I would love to win a raffle. EM1 Epic, keep on watching, earn some credits. You guys are chatting too fast, Marie. We're doing the giveaway whenever we get to Orbit. Interstellar mod? Yes, we've already done one of those. Alright. Okay, good night, Irene. Alright. And they wobble more. I gotta do a chat beacon right here, right? I'll answer the questions, but I gotta do, gosh, me chat beacon. I've gotta do a chat beacon right now, so we get on with the rockets. Lieutenant Haas, DOS, as a new player, what is the best 2 or 3 mods? Kerbal Engineer, and Kerbal Engineer. Those are the best mod to get. Absolutely. If you only get one mod, get Kerbal Engineer. You can get. Oh my gosh, yeah, you are earning credits. Chat is scrolling off the wazoo. I would also get one called, basically if you scroll down my channel, Lieutenant Haas, everything under must-have info mods I would get. Everything under must-have info mods. Kerbal Engineer, Atmospheric Trajectories, RCS Build Aid, Kerbal Alarm Clock, maybe that's not as necessary, but everything under the must-have mods down on my channel, that's what I would get. Dash, you referred to Scott Manley starter rockets with boosters only. Scott decoupled the lower booster while running it by activating the top boosters. That doesn't work that easily anymore. The video is not correct. Try it. And then you said you just tried it. Claudinius, you can in fact blow parts off. It's not exactly the same as it used to be. That's one of the problems with YouTube, right? What version of the game was it recorded in, and is it still valid? Right here, I do it live using the current version of the game. So come by at Help Desk tomorrow, and we will test decoupling stages by exploiting them with the rockets. Come by at Help Desk tomorrow. Alright, chat bacon. Maybe that's what I should call it. Okay. You earn credits just by hanging out here. Staying on top of the stream, guys. I'm staying on top of the stream. I need to go over here. I need to go here. I need to go there. Alright. And we did not get... Oh my gosh. What's up, Man on Fire? We didn't get into orbit. We needed more ability to go into orbit. What can I do here in the VAB to work on this rocket so that we get it into orbit? I have information at my fingertips because I've installed Kerbal Engineer. Kerbal Engineer is a mod that basically runs all the math behind your rockets for you and displays the results in real time. It'll tell you how much fuel you have. It'll tell you what your thruster weight is. You saw us looking at that before, right? 2.09 thruster weight on this rocket. It will tell you which direction you're going. It'll tell you your altitude. It'll tell you your rate of climb or descent. It'll tell you how long it is until a maneuver node. It does so many different things for you. Right here in the VAB, let's look at Kerbal Engineer and see how we can use it to design a rocket that is going to get into orbit. Kerbal Engineer, in its compact mode, shows me 3 things that are important. It shows me that my current thrust weight of this rocket, right? The amount of thrust that this engine puts out versus the weight of the rocket is currently 2.09. Remember when we went over thrust to weight? It has to be over 1.0 or you will not leave the launch pad, so 2.09 is good. It also shows me something called delta V. I get this question all the time. Das, can you explain delta V? Das, can you explain delta V? Delta V, for new players, delta V is your ability to change your situation in space. When you're in space, if you've seen astronauts floating around, if you're floating in the middle of a cabin and you have nothing to press against, you can't change your situation very well. It's the same with your rocket. When you get a rocket up out of the atmosphere, you don't have a propeller or anything like that, you have to have some capacity, some ability to change your rocket situation. What does that mean? What does that mean? You're on the surface, right? Let's say that we go out here. Let's launch this craft right quick. Let's just launch it right quick and I'll explain it. When I launch this craft, my current situation is I am landed on the launch pad at Kerbin, right? Landed on the launch pad at Kerbin. The person who's going to help me do this is Man on Fire 42. Man on Fire, thanks for the demonstration. The person who's going to help me do this, crew roster, solar weapon, edit, Man on Fire 42, apply, and then we also needed to add, what was the name? Oh, I'm sure y'all will tell me. Oh my gosh, I've already put so many names in. It was not solar weapon, that's all I can think of now. It was... You guys told me to do it, now I can't remember. Anyways, we'll just go with solar weapon. Let's add solar weapon here. Sorry, let's add man on fire here to the pod. Man on fire, thank you for volunteering. Get out of the boot camp line and get over here. My situation right now, actually man on fire situation, I'm good to go. I'm sitting at my desk at mission control. I'm drinking some tea. I've got some Dr. Pepper. I've even got a Reese's peanut butter cup that I can eat if I stop talking for long enough. But my situation right now is landed on Kerbal. I would like to change that. I would like to go from being landed on Kerbal to being in the air above Kerbal. How do I do that? I expend what's called Delta V. Delta V, my ability to change my situation. It actually means change my velocity. Delta V, delta is changed, V stands for velocity. So my velocity right now is 0. My situation is landed on Kerbal. I would rather be flying above Kerbal, maybe straight up. So what I'm going to do is go right here. Let's expand engineer. I actually just pressed the slash key to expand engineer. I expanded engineer. I throttled up. And you can see right there I've got 1500 meters per second of delta V. So watch what happens. When I launch the rocket, I start using delta V. See that delta V going down? I start using that delta V to change my situation. Now that I've put a little bit of delta V into this, instead of sitting on the launch pad at 0 meters per second, I'm actually going up, flying above Kerbal at 120 meters per second. And as I continue to spin that delta V, I will continue going straight up. That is what I want to do. Because look, I'm not changing my heading. I've just lit the engine. I'm just going straight up. No big deal. That's all we're doing. Whenever that engine runs out of delta V, this is the delta V in this stage. It's this engine using this fuel tank. You see that? This fuel tank's not in that stage. It's not being used. This engine is using this fuel tank right here. Watch. As the fuel goes down, your delta V goes down. And when this stage is out of fuel, it will be out of delta V. Having no fuel, that engine will no longer be able to change our situation. So I'm just going to keep flying straight up. I'm going to let this engine run out. Just like this. Now it's out. Now when I decouple, I've got delta V in this stage. I would like to change my situation some more. I don't want to be flying straight up. Instead of flying straight up, I would like to be flying at an angle. So let's do that. I'm going to press spacebar, and I'm going to turn my rocket, and now I'm going to spin this delta V to change my situation again. Instead of going just straight up, I'm actually going to turn myself and fly at an angle. You can actually see from the rocket exhaust. Do you see how that exhaust is curved? When I did that, I am using the delta V that's in this engine right here. This engine using that fuel, and I am using that engine and that fuel to expend delta V to change my situation. Next thing I want to do, let's just go ahead like this. This is even different. I'm continuing to expend delta V to change my situation even more. In fact, let's save 173 meters per second. I have saved 173 meters per second. We are going to go ahead and fly along like this and show another way I can change my situation. I was kind of burning. I was adding to my speed right now, right? Let's watch right quick. Let me get up out of here and I'll show you. Let me get up out of the atmosphere right quick. And whenever I get up here, I'll show you. There's 50. Atmosphere ends at 69.5, by the way. 69.8 or something like that, maybe. 60. 65. I'm getting up out of the atmosphere so I can show you this. 68, 69. Alright, good deal. Watch this. Right now I've got 173 meters per second in the tank. If I burn this, if I use this delta V to change my situation, see how my speed is falling? That's because I'm going up and gravity's pulling on me, right? If I want, I can actually use some of this delta V and accelerate myself. As this goes down, that number goes up. I'm taking the delta V out of the tank and I'm putting it into the rocket's momentum. That's what I'm doing with the delta V. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually turn the rocket around backwards like this and point backwards. That's actually what the green X means. The green X means backwards, against the way that you're going. Watch what happens here. I'm going 1287. It's going down very slowly. If I want to expend this 1, 2, 3 delta V, 1, 2, 3, easiest delta V. Hey, actually that's not bad. If I wanted, I should have done it the other way. If I wanted to expend this 1, 2, 3 meters per second of delta V, I can actually decrease my velocity with it very quickly. You see how that works? I'm decreasing my velocity, and I'm going to save like 50 meters per second of delta V. Right like that. So I can use the delta V to change my velocity, right? That's what it stands for. And in changing my velocity, I can change my situation. I can be landed on Kerbal. I can take off and fly. I can be going straight up, and I can deflect myself to the side and fly in a new direction. I can turn completely around, use delta V backwards, pointing retrograde against the way that I'm going right now, and I can use that delta V to actually slow down. That's why I say delta V is changing your situation in space. Now, we are going to come down. I'm going to save a little bit of delta V here. And we are going to go ahead. Man on fire, hold on to your bacon. Because we are going to get you re-entered here. And we are going to... Wow, chat is off the freaking chain. Guys, chat is off the chain right now. Let me just get Man on Fire re-entered here, and I will try to catch up. We're trying to explain what delta V is. So it stands for change in velocity. Realistically, in the game, it's change in your situation. It is the change in your situation. Go from landed to orbiting, flying. Go from flying to out of the atmosphere. Go from out of the atmosphere to actually orbiting. Go from orbiting Kerbal to orbiting the moon. Go from orbiting the moon to landing on the moon. All of those things are changes in situation, and it costs you delta V in order to get that. It costs you delta V in order to change those situations. I've saved a little bit of delta V. And why did I do that? Every time we land this rocket, it explodes. Because the little chute we've got is not enough to land us at under the impact resistance of this engine, right? Impact resistance was like 6 or 7. The chute is going to land us at 11. What is my situation right now? My situation right now is hanging from my chute, but going too fast. Can I change my situation? Yes. I've got delta V, and I can actually... That's a great delta V, by the way. 42 meters per second of delta V. Apparently that delta V is the answer to the life universe and everything. Right now, my situation is descending too fast, hanging from my chute. I want to change that, and what I'm going to do right before I land is use this delta V, light this engine, and try to not hit going 10. I would like to hit going less than 10. So there's 50, 40, 30, 20, 8, 7, 6, right like that. And you see how we did that. We used a little bit of delta V. We used 19 delta V, and we changed our situation from I'm going to break this engine. We used it to slow down a little bit so that we would land at a safe speed, and we actually saved our chute. So when I say change in situation, there's a lot of different things that you can use that delta V for. Let's go back to the VAB. Man on fire, congratulations on your successful mission. Let's go back to the VAB and have a look. Oh my gosh. Ah, yes. Any questions on delta V? Put them into chat. Put them into chat. Less break, more win. Coffee, welcome, Coffee. Guys, give Coffee a follow. Coffee is another official KSP TV streamer. Right there, you know why I do that, so I can click on Coffee's name. I can prove that I follow Coffee. Actually, that needs to be scrolled a little bit more. 3 scrolls, maybe. I follow Coffee. If y'all want, y'all should totally click on his name. He streams on the official KSP TV channel, and he also has his own stream. He's got some really freaking awesome music. A lot of times when I just want to, like, chill out, I'll go to Coffee streams, and I will just listen to his awesome, like, slow jazz music. Anyways, Coffee, man, thanks for hanging out. You have no tea. I want to be a spaceman. Let me look at chat right quick, and we're going to look at how... Any questions on delta V? Let me know if you have any questions on delta V. Find. What is it? It is checkpoint. It is beacon. Bacon. Whatever. Did I just say that? Beacon, I said. Alright, Das Valdez chat beacon. I got it. Wow, I didn't actually scroll the chat that far this time. Awesome. Have you seen Interstellar? I have not. Do credits accumulate over shows? Iconic Wake, they do. You may want to watch this. I watched the whole thing and it's pure awesomeness. Destroyer, I can't watch it right now, but I will open it up and pause it. Thank you for the link. How do you get credits? Jolly Rager, you just hang out and watch. You can also answer quizzes and stuff like that, and I'll give you some. Chat Bacon, love it, Hokey. Argue editor extension is first, Kerbal second. Yarganet, I don't agree. Check down the stream for the most used mods. Only using Kerr, and I'm absolutely fine with only that mod. Nice, Nasub. Nice. You should definitely look into RCS build date as well. Man on fire, you came back from lurker mode and you instantly got put in a mission. What are those, Zergs? I don't even know what that guy spammed. Who even cares? Set up the boosters 1.7. Ah, yes. Yes. If you set up the boosters 1.7 with higher thrust to weight above... The 2 decouple is possible, but then you get too much thrust to weight. We'll play around with that, Claudius. We'll play around with it. It is possible, though, because I just did it. Live on the stream. Remind me to tell you about stage recovery to check. Oh, that's cool. More Delta V. Tabakasi, what's going on? What's going on? No IO! Welcome to boot camp. Thanks for dropping by. I believe you recommended 1.7 thrust to weight. That is correct, Musical Tanks. We're just about to talk about that. We're just about to talk about that. How long is this stream going to be? We've got hours to go, Iconic. We've got hours. If you have to go, thank you for hanging out. It will be uploaded to YouTube. It will be uploaded to YouTube. Overspeed, Das. That's me. Queen of Overspeed. Yes, I said queen. In addition, question. If you have 800 meters per second at delta V, and you accelerate by 800 meters per second, you will have 0 meters per second at delta V. That's exactly how it works. If I'm stopped and given a frictionless area, I want to accelerate in a straight line, and I've got 100 meters per second, I can accelerate 100 meters per second. That'll cost me 100 meters per second to go from 0 to 100. It'll cost me another 100 to go from 100 to 0. Then it would cost me 50 to go from 0 to 50. So that is exactly how it works. Assuming frictionless plane, like you're not in atmosphere, that sort of stuff, and assuming you're applying that delta V directly forward or backward in that very simple situation. Question, if you want to get to orbit against the planet movement, better to do a normal burn in the atmosphere, or just go up till 80 and then change direction to retrograde? I would say you just do a normal launch and tilt over at 10K 45 degrees. I've never actually tried that. It's almost always better to fly up in an angle after 10K after you get out of the soup. That would be my guess, but I haven't actually tested that. Das, can you do a refueling? Jolly Rager, it definitely can, but not as part of boot camp. Usually not a point of boot camp. Alright. Calvin Kuhlman, how often are the giveaways going to happen? Calvin Kuhlman, by the next checkpoint, which is getting into orbit. Shimmy! Wait, did Shimmy come in? Oh, Shimmy, you should have said your name. Where are you at? I can't even find you. Say something in the chat. I'll definitely give you a shout out. You are definitely not broadcasting yourself very well right now. Some people say they played for X hours. That's in Steam. Lieutenant Haas, that's in Steam. People seeing how far that they have done it. Yeah, it's in Steam. Me, chat, Beacon. Let's put some more Delta V on this rocket, y'all. I can never type this correctly. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to stop streaming if I ever type it correctly. There. Chat Beacon. Done. Alright. Remember to use the word question if you have a question you want me to answer. Shimmy! By the way, Shimmy! I hope I get done in time for, I hope that I get done in time for, Ultra Hardcore Chicken Bomb or whatever it is. Shimmy! I follow Shimmy, another KSP TV official streamer. Guys, toss Shimmy a follow if you haven't already. Shimmy is awesome. He has the coolest commercial in the world, and he does Space Quest. Lots of awesome things. I hope I haven't missed anybody. I haven't seen anybody I've missed. Shimmy, thanks for hanging out. You're buying movements from space with Delta V as money. Kind of all bad. It's kind of like Delta V is your currency to change your situation, and you have to spend that currency in order to change your situation. What is thrust to weight? Walrus Project. Thrust to weight is how much thrust you have versus how much weight you have. It's how hard the engines can push versus the weight of the rocket. Broadcasting. You got it, Adel. Adel, welcome, by the way. We do have a new bot in the channel that's got some new commands so we can do giveaways and stuff. So let's talk about Delta V. We know with Kerbal Engineer that we have to have greater than 1.0 thrust to weight on the pad in order to take off. What can we do? If we've got 2.09 and we still want to take off, we've actually got more thrust to weight than we need. If we want more Delta V, how can we add Delta V to this rocket? How can we give it even more capability to change its situation, to accelerate or decelerate itself, or to bend its orbit, or whatever? We can do that by adding fuel to the rocket. So right here, if I take this tank off, if I get another tank, and I add it to the rocket, watch what happens. Now, instead of 2.09 meters per second of delta, or sorry, 2.09 thrust to weight, we're down to 1.72. 1.72. And right over here, let's put it back the way it was. We were at 1507 Delta V in that stage. We're just looking at stage 2, right? It's basically the engines that will fire when you press spacebar on stage 2 down here. In stage 2, we had 1507 and 2.09. When we add that tank like that, we go to 1.7 but 1999. So we got 500 meters per second of Delta V, which is pretty good, right? And we now have a 1.7 thrust to weight. So our thrust to weight went down because we added weight to the rocket, but by adding weight to the rocket, we actually got more Delta V. Now, what could we do? Look at this. we could come over here. We could add more fuel. We're like, oh, well, that makes sense. Dosh just said that if I add fuel, I get more delta V. Look at this. I added another big tank. That brought my thrust to weight to 1.27, but it brought my delta V to 27. So we added that huge tank, and we got 700 more. Let's try an experiment. Right here, with that, we have 1999 meters per second. And when we added that tank before, we had 1507. So adding one of this little mid-sized tank, like that, adding one little mid-sized tank gave us 500. Oh, you know what should happen? If I add another tank, I should get another 500, right? That's what everybody thinks. Let's do it. Let's add another tank, same size, and see if the delta V is 2500. We only got 400 from that tank. That's weird. Maybe I just need to add more fuel. If I add another fuel tank, what's that going to do? From that one, we only went from 24 to 27. That only added 300. In fact, every tank we add is adding less and less delta V. Now we added 200. Let's add another one. It was from 3,000. Now we got 250. Every tank we add is adding less and less delta V. So clearly just spamming the amount of delta V on there that you think you need is not an option. The important thing there is, a lot of times what you need to do in Kerbal Space Program is not just spam more fuel. Because every tank you add is diminishing returns in terms of delta V. You get less and less for every same increment of fuel you add. Why? Solovsky's rocket equation says why. The problem is that when I add more fuel, the delta V I already have in there has to also carry the weight of the fuel that you added with it. So the more fuel you have to carry, the heavier you are at the time that you take off, the less delta V you'll get from that first little molecule of fuel. But then, that molecule of fuel will be out the back, and the next molecule of fuel you'll get a little bit more push out of it, because your thrust to weight will go up just a little bit. By the time you empty this tank, you will have more thrust to weight than when the tank was full. As you add more and more, the weight has to be carried by the rocket. It's a little hard to understand. The important thing is just spamming fuel is diminishing returns. In fact, you could keep adding fuel to this all day long, and you would reach a point, a maximum, where adding fuel would no longer get you any more delta V. You would absolutely kill your thrust to weight, but you could add fuel all day long and you would never get your delta V. So look at this rocket, right? Let's do it a little bit more efficiently. If you didn't notice, those tanks I was adding are about the same size as two of these tanks. It actually does work out that way. You can come down here and you can replace those two tanks with this one tank. And you can replace these two tanks with one of these tanks. Like that and like that. Now we all know that if I launch this rocket as is, it's got 1.01 thrust to weight. It'll just barely take off the pad, and as it uses the fuel, the thrust to weight will increase, so it'll take off faster and faster. Let's take off a little bit of weight, just like that. 3,000 meters per second of delta V, 1.12 on the pad. Let's fly this rocket this way. So we're gonna go winner, winner, orbital dinner. Beastall Ryan. Beastall Ryan, I don't recognize your name. It's telling me you don't follow the channel. That's okay. I'd appreciate it if you follow the channel. If you're interested in more Kerbal Space Academy learning to play the game. But that's all good. Beastall Ryan, you're going in this rocket whether you register or not. That's what you get for being on the sidelines just watching Kerbal Space Academy as opposed to actually enrolling. One more thing I'm going to do before I go out there. Remember the problem we had with not recovering that? I'm going to put a stack decoupler just like that, and I'm going to put that right like that. That is going to let me decouple this pod and it shoot from that, so I don't have those explosions happening. Sure, it'll explode, but the pod will be nice and safe. Did you see what happened when I did that? We had 2.9. Wait a second. Let's add another stage. There we go. Let me see here. That notification needs to go away. Beastall Ryan, thank you for the follow. There you go. I can't even find the camera. I was looking at the follow and that. Beastall, thank you for the follow. Now we have pressed you into service with Kerbal Space Academy. You stumbled onto boot camp. You thought you were on the sidelines. You're about to be in a rocket. You're about to be in a rocket. I will answer questions after I get this done. That, decouple that, decouple that. Alright. Did you see what happened? We had 4710 meters per second right now. When we added that in, 4747, when I put it on 4710, we lost 37 meters per second of delta V. Why? That is not made of fuel. That is a part. It's additional mass that rocket has to carry around. The mass you carry, the less delta V you get, especially if the mass isn't made of fuel. So, when I added that one part on there, it doesn't weigh very much. It only weighs 0.05 tons. But 0.05 tons were enough to cost me 37 delta V. You got to remember that as you spam pieces onto your rockets, right? You're like, oh man, I'm in the mood for some freaking science. Let's put these on, right? I'm going to put these on, watch my delta V. From 4710 to 4500. The more dead weight that is not fuel that I carry on that rocket, the less delta V I'll get for that same fuel. So, we're not going to do a science mission. You ready, Ryan? Let's get you out to the pad, see if you live through this. This is just the KSA Bootcraft. Broodcraft, we'll just call it that. Save it. Ay, 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 ay. Who planted the flag on the moon? Let's go ahead and launch it. Decouplers are not made out of fuel. Oh no, you're right. It's made of anti-delta V. Tazared Morningstar, thanks for hanging out, and I also love that. It's made of anti-delta V. Let's go ahead and throttle this up. Let's go ahead and, while it's throttled up, put the proper person in here. Come on, crew roster. Edit. Paste you in. Beastall Ryan. Apply. Beastall Ryan, get in that pod. Get ready to go to space. Let's see what you can do here. Let's see what you can do. Beastall, thanks for the follow. Thanks for officially enrolling in Academy after we dragged you off the sidelines and made you get over here. So I'm going to throttle up. I'm going to go ahead and press the space bar. Let's do some checks right quick. Thrust to weight, 1.12. That means we should go up. That's good. Delta V, we've got 4723. That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot of total delta V. I like that. Let us count down. 3, 2, 1, and press space. So that low thrust to weight is definitely flying us up. We're flying straight up. We will see Beastall Ryan. What's going on? Let's see if we can get you into orbit, Beastall. Remember, when we successfully get into orbit, we are going to do a giveaway for a copy of the game. Oh my gosh. Launching from a balloon. It probably will not take off because you have no concept of throttle. Inhalation, thank you. I probably do need to go over that. Snuggly Squid, I am just randomly picking people. I'm just using exclamation point winner and completely randomly picking a person. Remember what's going on here. We're just going up. At some point we're going to need to turn. But right now I'm just going straight up. Look at this, what's happening here. This delta V in stage 3, which is currently the active stage, the delta V in stage 3 is going down. Why? Because we're exploding it and throwing it out the back of the rocket. What's happening here? The delta V in the next stage is increasing. Why? Chat, 5 points to the first person who answers this one. I'm going to use my stream delay. First person to answer it after this is going to get 5 points. Why is this increasing? This is decreasing, but why is that top stage getting more and more delta V the more we fly? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not adding fuel to the rocket, right? Why is that top stage getting more delta V? Answer it. Lower weight, less mass, nope, lessening atmosphere. T McNasty's got it right there. T McNasty's got it. The mass is lower. It's not a lower mass. Atmospheric decreasing. T McNasty, well done. Well done. Add 5 T McNasty. Good job, T McNasty. You get 5 extra credit points. Every rocket has fuel efficiency. It's like a fuel efficiency rating. The fuel efficiency rating of the rocket changes based on the density of the atmosphere that the rocket is operating in. So when we're down there on the planet, the atmosphere is very thick and soupy. The engine doesn't get as good fuel efficiency. However, whenever we lift this craft up out of the atmosphere, we're actually getting better and better fuel efficiency out of the rockets. It's affecting not only this rocket. Oh buddy. Oh buddy. Oh buddy. It's affecting not only this engine, it's affecting this engine right here, which isn't even turned on. So what you're seeing there, as this thing increases, what you're seeing is the fact that this engine is in thinner and thinner atmosphere. And as it gets into thinner and thinner atmosphere, it is going to be able to use that fuel more and more efficiently. In fact, we're not even going to light that engine until we get way up here into the upper atmosphere. Watch. And because of that, carrying that engine with that fuel up to this altitude, we were increasing the amount of delta V that we were able to get out of it. See how it's 1989? Remember that number, 1989. We've done that stage. Let's launch this stage, and we're going to keep going like this. I am going to continue turning here, and did you see what just happened? I cut my throttle. Why did I cut my throttle? Because I've just got an 80K apoapse. You can also check it from over here. Press M to get to map mode. Right there you can see it. Let's go into orbit. Let's click on this apoapse. Click add maneuver. Get rid of precise node. Pull on the green thing. That's prograde. What does that mean? That's adding energy. That's adding orbital velocity to our orbit. You don't want that apoapse to run away from you. So if it starts to run away, just click and hold there. Did you see what I did? I highlighted the middle there and I clicked and held, and that brought the apoapse back. You want that apoapse tag to stay right there in the middle. Pull it more prograde. This means the way you're going, DOS, actually the way you're going, Ryan, when you get there, go faster in the same direction. Go faster in the same direction. That's what this is. And as I go faster in the same direction, I am going to miss Kerbin, and as I miss Kerbin, I'm going to achieve an orbit. I don't want to fall back down. That's not missing Kerbin very well. I want to go faster in the same direction I'm already going until I miss Kerbin. And you can see what just happened. That is exactly what just happened. Now, let's come back over here. Let's point our pod towards the little blue node, right? The little blue triple T thing there, and do this burn. I am going to pause just for a second, because there's some things I want you to see. You see where it says estimated burn? This is telling me right now that the estimated time that it's going to take for me to complete this burn is 29 seconds. What does that mean, complete this burn? How does it know? When you dragged that node handle, when you pulled that and you said go faster and faster and faster in the same direction, it is actually going to cost you delta V. Your situation used to be, look, I'll show you. Your situation used to be, you can't see it. Dad, blame it. I wish there was a way for me to pause it. Your situation is currently, I'm going to go back in and crash into Kerbin. I want it to be, I am going to miss Kerbin. To change your situation, you need to do this burn. You need to spin that delta V. Now, you also see a thing here that says node in T minus 18 seconds. That's telling me how long it is going to be for me to reach that node. The last thing you see is this, 1308 meters per second squared. Or meters per second, sorry. 1308. That is the total amount of delta V that you need to expend so that you miss the planet, just like we saw on the other orbital screen, right? I have it paused because it's important when we do this burn. So it's going to take me 1308 delta V, right like that. Cybertech, calm down. Seriously, dude, I got this under control. You act like it's my first stream. The delta V right here. Hectic, thank you again. Thank you again for helping me out with the bot stuff. Hectic, get out of Dodge, and I do salute you, man. Come over here and moderate anytime. I really do appreciate you being here and helping me out with those bot commands. In order to miss the planet, the amount that I want to miss it so that I go into an orbit, I need to spend 1308 meters per second of delta V. The game is telling me that it is going to take me 29 seconds to expend 1308 meters per second of delta V. Why? Because the engine can only burn fuel so fast. It's not like you get up there and you're like, oh, I need to change my situation, and all of a sudden, I'm in a new situation. The engine takes time. It's more of a sort of thing than a brap. It takes time to spend that delta V. Think of it like a bucket with a pail in it that has a gallon of delta V or whatever. In a little tiny hole in the bottom, you can only drain the delta V out of that bucket so fast. Each engine is able to do it at different rates, right? So, this engine, to expend 1308 meters per second of delta V, is going to take 29 seconds. The node expects me to expend all the delta V at one instant. And rockets don't work that way. It's a bucket with a hole in it. It's not a bucket that just disappears magically. So, in order to do this, I want to spend my delta V so that on average, it's at the time of the node, and there's an easy way to do that. What you can do is look at the estimated burn time, which is 30 seconds, right? The same as 30 seconds. Half it. And start your burn at T minus half of your total burn time. What does that do? That means that half of your burn is going to be done before the node, and half of your burn is going to be done after the node. that means that on average, roughly, it's not exact, but on average, all of your delta V will be expanded on the node itself. That's why every time I put a node up there and I want to execute that burn, I want to half my estimated burn time, just like that. Now, tell me I can do it. Excellent. Sometimes, I usually do it in my head, right? I'm like 29, round that up to 30, half 30, 15. It's 47, you know, round that up to 48, half 48, 24. I do it in my head. I do the mental math thing. If you need some help doing the mental math, what you can do is use Kerbal Engineer. The other day, we were sitting around. Cybertech was streaming. He actually had code up on the stream. We weren't even playing the game. We were looking at the code behind Kerbal Engineer, and he was asking for, you know, some features, some things that would be awesome. And the guys hanging out in the chat came over from KSA to watch him, I think. The guys hanging out in the chat were like, oh, you know what would be a great idea? What if it halved the burn time for you? And Cybertech was like, all right, I can make that happen. And right there on the stream, Cybertech actually coded Kerbal Engineer with a new feature. Is this good enough for you, Cybertech? Coded Kerbal Engineer with a new feature. The new feature is that I can come over here into Engineer, I can click Edit, like that, and I can actually install a new part. See all this maneuver sode stuff? I just scrolled down. This is what's currently in this list. See how I've got delta V stage, delta V total mass, thrust to weight, delta V, mass, thrust to weight, acceleration. See, this is what's currently there. I can actually scroll down right here in the orbital category, scroll it on down, find all of these maneuver nodes, and there is actually something coded in here. Maneuver node half burn time. Cybertech, I love you. You can actually install this down there and look at what it did. It automatically calculated what half of your burn time is. On top of that, you can actually add the maneuver bone. Where was it at? Let me see here. Time to maneuver burn. If you want to know exactly, if you want to be totally lazy and you want to know exactly when you should start the burn, you can install this. And it is telling me that I need to start this burn in 3.9 seconds. 3.9 seconds. So it's 14.6 seconds for the actual burn, and it's going to be 3.9 seconds until the burn. Now, drink, Doth. I really need another Dr. Pepper. I'm talking way too much. Let me get a drink right quick out of my cooler here. Alright. Now you might say, you know, I just said that half is really roughly it. Remember what we talked about expending fuel in delta V? Whenever we explode fuel and toss it out the back of the rocket, it is the best weight loss program for our rocket. We actually lose weight. And when we lose weight, but we maintain the same thrust, our thrust to weight increases. When our thrust to weight increases, we can accelerate faster and faster. So, Cybertech, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the new counter calculates through the stages and takes the change. Yeah, that's what you just said, actually. Takes the change of acceleration into account. As I burn that rocket, it is going to get lighter. I'm going to accelerate faster. And this is not going to be exactly half. 14.6 is not exactly half of 29 seconds. 14.6 is a very precise number in terms of as my rocket is able to accelerate faster and faster over the course of the burn because I'm losing weight, right? I'm tossing fuel out the back. I'm not going to start exactly halfway before the burn or end exactly halfway after the burn. This isn't a very precise calculation. So what you might find is as you get into longer burn times, or as you get into burns where you lose more and more fuel, that number may not be exactly half. Don't worry about it. It's still accurate. The quick and dirty way that I've always taught it is just half that number right there. Do it in your head. 29 rounded up to 30, half of it 15, done. Start at node equals t minus 18. The exactly accurate way that Kerbal Engineer has right there says, well, DOS, it's not really going to be a 15 second, it's actually going to be 14.6. That's when you need to burn. And it's also telling me that I need to time to node burn 3.9 seconds. So, let's go back to the game. I'm going to close that down. I really need a different overlay or something like that. Yes, I buy shirts. I do have a new monitor. What I'm going to do is in 4 seconds after unpausing the game, I'm going to light this engine and I'm going to burn for 1308 meters per second at delta V. 1308 meters per second. So let's go ahead and do that. 3, 2, 1, burn. Right like that. And I am going to burn straight right here until this gauge gets all the way down to 0. Now, Engineer has even more node-related stuff in it. I'm not going to go over it right now in boot camp, but that is really cool that it halves that time to burn for you right there. I've got another 10, 9, 8. See us? We're spending delta V out of our tank. It's decreasing our delta V requirement for executing that node. We're missing the planet more and more, right? And when it gets to 0, you press X and you stop the burn. Right now, folks, you know where we are. Beastal Orion has successfully gotten into a stable orbit around Kerbin. A stable orbit around Kerbin. Not exactly a circular orbit. At his lowest, he'll be 80. At his highest, he'll be 101. That's okay. It's still an orbit. It counts. Whatever. In fact, I think Beastal Orion is going to get out of the craft and wave at us right quick. Let's let go. Do you know how to use this? Did you pay attention during your RCS thruster training, Beastal? I don't know. I don't know, but let's see him fly around a little bit here. Can I turn around? I can turn the camera around. What I need to do is go like this. Put him facing that way. Pose him for a picture. And that right there is Beastal Orion in his first orbit of Kerbin. Congratulations, Beastal, on your successful mission. Your successful mission. Good times, though. Now you need to get back in the pod. You're not George Clooney. So shut up and get back in the pod. I don't care about any endurance records in space or anything. You can grab it. I pressed F to grab it. You can get inside of it. I'll teach you how to do that later. But, Beastal Orion, congratulations. Let's go into screensaver mode. And it is time for another giveaway. It's time for another giveaway. If you've been watching, how do you go into screensaver mode? You press F2, F2. If you've been watching, you've been earning Academy credits. If you've been answering some of the quizzes that I put up, you've been earning Academy credits. What you can do now, you can actually spend those Academy credits to enter into a drawing for a giveaway of the game. You can enter into a drawing for a giveaway of the game right now. What you're gonna do, you see everybody doing it. You can type exclamation point credits to see how many you have. You can spend all your credits if you want. It's going to cost you 10 credits per entry. 10 credits per entry. And what you need to do is, where's my notepad? There we go. I actually don't know this by heart yet. What you need to do is type, oh wow. What do you do it? Is it entry? How do you enter? I'm sure somebody will do it. I'll type it out whenever somebody does it. Let me do this. I am going to open a raffle for Kerbal Space Program. Wow, that chat spam. I'll definitely be able to highlight the giveaways, that's for sure. Ticket 3. I'm going to open it right now. F5 bot. Keep going, F5 bot. Keep going. Here's what we're going to do. Oh my gosh, that chat spam, yo. What if you have less? You have to have at least 10, L, to enter. If you have at least 10, you can enter. If you don't, I've got 2 or 3 more giveaways I'm going to do over the next couple hours. We've got 3 hours to give away 2 more copies. So we are going to be giving copies of the game away. Right now I'm just doing giveaways of Kerbal Space Program. And again, if you bought the game today at the beginning of the stream and you can prove to me that you bought it today and you win this raffle, I will give you, I'll reimburse you for the 18 bucks you spent on the game today. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and fire this up right like that. 10 tickets. You can buy as many as you have enough. The raffle is, come on bot, ticket raffle for Kerbal Space Program open to all users. Each ticket costs 10 credits and you can buy a maximum of 100 tickets. So, buy however many tickets you want. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to drink, I'm going to read chat. Oh wow, lesson learned, I totally should have checked chat before I did that. Gravity turn, how do I protect a potential elliptical orbit? When I set my maneuver node, I have a 73 apoapse. Darth Balan, I will show you, if you can ask me again after the raffle. I shouldn't have done that. This is going to go off the chain. I will show you how to correct that. Basically, you burn prograde or retrograde at your apoapse or periapse. Prograded apoapse will raise your periapse. Retrograded apoapse will lower your periapse. You basically burn prograde or retrograde at your peri or apo. Das, when you're building a hangar, does the delta Vito amount account for the atmosphere? T. McNasty, I'll show you. I'll show you. I'm going to do that in depth. Is there a way? Yes, C.H. Rogers, there is. I will tell you. I will absolutely tell you. Oh my gosh. Alright. Das is going to keep falling, only falling so fast that he falls around Kerbin. You're exactly right, Coffee. We're just going to keep falling and be really bad at hitting the planet. Remember the new node stuff, you happy, Cybertech? Alright, there was Hectic leaving. Lots of viewers today. Rin Phoenix, you're not kidding. Just making sure. Don't drink this, Das. I clicked on it. Kraken removes your wings. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Gonna grab some dinner, Dark Templar. Take it easy. Don't scare me with your brap. Wake up. Wake up, Calvin Kuhlman. Did he just bark? I did just bark. Das, if I have my camera at the moon, but I want the camera back to my rocket. Nasiab, Nasiab, this is for you. Das, I have my camera at the moon, but I want the camera back at the rocket. How do I do that? How do I do that? Nasiab, press backspace on your keyboard. Backspace on your keyboard will focus on your rocket instead of something else. Make sure on the map screen when you do that. Go to the map screen and press backspace. DOS, it does a lot more than that. Calculates through stages, takes it. Gotcha, Cybertech. Thank you so much again for putting that in there. Question, did I end up getting a new monitor? I buy shirts on eBay. I did. That's why I turn my head like this sometimes. I've actually got 2 monitors to look at now. Thank y'all for the donations. I really do appreciate the donations that I can use to improve the stream and improve my ability to do things like that. Improve my ability to do giveaways, all sorts of stuff. I really do appreciate the donations. Question, node. All bad. We were talking about a maneuver node. A maneuver node. It's a way that we can pre-plan a maneuver in KSP. I'll show you how to do it when we go to the moon. Click and drag. It never works for me. I think it's supposed to work. And there's that. DOS, what if I have left? That was LA. If you watch for longer, you will get more. You can also participate in answers. And I will bump you up. Question, do you need to spend the credits? Yes, you do lose them. Calvin Kuhlman, you do lose them. So if you want to stockpile credits all stream and spend them on the last raffle, you're welcome to do that. You do spend them. Don't forget to add Mercenary Blue to the roster. That's what I need to do. I should do it right now. I'm going to go down. Enlistion, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Enlistion. Thank you for all the great questions. I really do appreciate you. In fact, I'm going to give you, because you asked so many awesome questions, 10 credits to Enlistion. Thank you so much, Enlistion, for all those awesome questions that you asked. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for attending Kerbal Boot Camp. Normally we don't let you leave, but since you got to go, you'll go. Did we get the entries done? Did we get the entries done? Oh my gosh. Yeah, there you go. It's ticket 3. That's it, right? There you go. Keep on getting entered. Is it happening? Credits. How do you spend them? You type ticket and the number of tickets you want. Ticket and the number of tickets you want. Alright. Remember, you have to have enough. You have to have enough to enter. If you don't have enough, we are doing more. We are doing more. Let me see here. Is there anything I can do to look at this raffle? Let me look. I think I can actually look at it in real time. Raffles. 41 entries. Nice. They're still coming in. They're still coming in. Yes, Brain Fried. If you can hear me, yes. You guys getting it? You type exclamation point ticket and you put in the number of tickets that you want or can afford. We've got 41 people entered right now. Some people have 5 tickets. That means that they've been watching for almost 5 hours. Almost, roughly. I almost want to just do like 10 per hour or something. Whoever saves their tickets now will win the next raffle. I don't even know. I don't even know. Remember, if you've already bought the game and you can prove to me you bought it today on sale, I will reimburse you if you win this one. If you win this raffle. I'm going to give you about another minute or two. Here's what we do. While the entries happen, I'm going to hop up and go over to the bathroom. Pluto, dwarf planet. It's got a Elu. It's a little bit eccentric, a little bit wacky orbit. I'm going to hit the head right quick. Y'all keep getting interested. If you can donate tickets. I don't know what that means, right, Check, but I don't think so. I really don't know anything about it. Donate tickets. Pay 20. It is worth it. LT House, you're absolutely worth it. Guys, let me hit the head right quick. When I come back, all the entries should be in. If you want to enter exclamation point ticket and the number of tickets you can afford. I will be back. I will be back. Let me hit the head. No space between exclamation point and credits. All right. Oh, that must just be down. I don't think anybody has 10 tickets right now. In fact, the most tickets I see is 9. People who were here at the very beginning watching for 5.1 hours have 9 tickets, 91 tickets right now. 91 tickets right now. Nice. Love it. Alright. Chew. You get awarded bonus credits for being clever. That's hilarious. Yeah, you can. You can earn them via participation. That's exactly right. We really need to come up with some chat commands to explain that stuff. Oh, man. Alright, y'all. Last couple seconds here. In the time that it takes me to eat this Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, we are going to fire up this raffle. Thanks, Al. Yeah, what did I say? I thought I said 91. 91 credits is, I think, the maximum you could have right now. Not right now, Blipman. I'll definitely show it to you, but not right now. Let me get this thing done. You just have a couple more seconds. A couple more seconds. Ticket 1. If you want to just try and get in there, just try ticket 1, right? See how that works. I got myself a delicious Dr. Pepper. And I think that it's right about time for us to go ahead and close the raffle. I'm gonna have to go and do it. 47 different people have entered in the raffle. I mean, if you look at the Delta V maps, how do you know what's the best way to actually use the Delta V? Mona Bobby, I will definitely show you how to do that whenever we do an interplanetary transfer. An interplanetary transfer. It's most important with excuse me. It is most important with oh my gosh. The thing. I actually can't even do it. Can you take my tickets away and give them to a worthy cadets? No, right checks. I won't do that. That's gonna open a can of worms. Probably two more after this, I buy shirts. 2 more after this. Oh boy. Yeah, Crew's got me. Thank you, Crew. I think we're good. What was that question? Tickets away, how many raffles after this? In right checks, we'll use them for other things in the future too. You can definitely just earn them now if we'll do other giveaways and stuff in the future. I'm really not going to do it just every stream, but I will give other things away in the future besides KSP. I'm hoping to get some swag sort of things and that sort of stuff. Ellie, absolutely, I am going to archive these on YouTube. You can get them off YouTube after the fact. Yeah, Mono Bobby, we'll do that during an interplanetary transfer. I'll go into detail on that. It's a little bit more than we can do right now. See the crap? Okay, we saw that one. Choo. Whoa, Das, what's up? Did I miss? This is all ticket spam. Das, will you please announce what giveaway is the last one of the night? I will, I buy shirts. I will say when it's the last one. The last one. My body's ready. Nice. Did I miss anything else? That was a whole lot of spam. Cyberdeck Das, I'm happy, although I still want to see you using it across staging with significantly different acceleration. Oh! Oh! It also does that. I didn't pick that up in your first comment. I should have, because you told me. If you stage in the middle of a... Oh. It's a little more advanced topic. That is awesome. That may be another stream. I don't want to confuse people. That is absolutely awesome. Shut up and listen to Rocket Science. I should. Yeah, you can save up for later streams. I'm going to try to get some... It's going to be a while, but I'm going to try to get some, like, Space Academy t-shirts and stuff that you can win and whatever. We will be giving away different types of stuff. Swag, coasters or something. I don't know. I really got to get a logo first. I'm almost to the point where I'm just going to go and hire a professional logo designer. Alright, we got an inhalation. Alright. Mercenary Blue. As soon as I finish... Yeah, shirts and caps and that sort of stuff. Yeah. As soon as I finish this, you can save up if you want to. As soon as I finish this, we're going to close that down. So if you wanted to get a ticket, do it right now. Let's do crew roster. We just need to add Mercenary Blue right here, because this was Mercenary Blue, who died in the seminary. Who died in the seminary? What? That doesn't even make any sense. Mercenary Blue Kerman, who died in the simulator earlier. We still got you there, Mercenary Blue. You're good to go. Folks, it's time for me to close the raffle down. So I am going to do, where's the command? Where's the command? Finish the raffle, do raffle close, and then raffle draw. Alright. KSA mouse pads, that would actually be really cool. I need a KSA mouse pad. Alright. 200 or so around there. Alright, here we go. We're going to close it. Sublime. The farthest raffle is... Ticket raffle closed. 52 viewers with 115 tickets. Guys, thank you for watching the Academy. Thank you for that. You missed a fiery death. You were in the simulator, we said. You were in the simulator. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We've got 52 viewers. Okay. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. I need to do T raffle draw. And let's see who the winner of the T raffle is here. Let's see who the winner is. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for watching Kerbal Space Academy. T raffle draw. The winner is... If I hit escape, hit enter in the right window, that would work. I do too, Darth Malone. I do too. Raffle draw SPB641. One ticket with a 0.9% chance to win. Dude, SPB641. SPB641. Thank you. Thank you for entering. Thank you. Well, let me get the text pad. I'm writing the winners down here. That's your exact name. What? SPB-T41. There we go. SPB641. There we go. Okay. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Everybody, SPB actually. SPB641. I need you. Do you have the game yet? Tell us if you have the game yet. Tell us if you have the game yet. SPB641. Let me know. I don't know if you have the game or not. But congratulations. If you don't have the game, congratulations. If you do have the game, here's what I need you to do. I need you to send me a message on Twitch with your Steam account. With your Steam account. If they are Steam games, you have to have Steam in order to accept it, right? So I need you to send me, Das Valdez, a message on Twitch with your Steam account name. And I will get that sent over to you. Probably going to be after the stream. It's probably going to be after the stream. But send me a message on Steam, SPB. They're supposed to be consumed no matter what. They're supposed to be consumed no matter what. Yeah, ticket cost, yeah. Yeah, they should get consumed no matter what. Let me look at the user database now. Yeah, a lot of people have a lot less tickets now. A lot of people have a lot less tickets now. I hope. Maybe they're busted. I don't know. We'll see. I don't see an option for that. It's weird. Okay. I think we've got it. Do you get at message immediately for a donation? Normally not. Normally not. Yeah. It's probably better for me to keep going with the stream. Yeah, it means credits. What am I saying? Tickets? I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean credits. Yes, the credits are spent using the things. Suntog, pretty instant. Tickets are consumed. Yeah, tickets are consumed. Good deal, good deal. All right. That was SPB. SPB who got that raffle. I don't know what this is. That's weird. Guess we'll just roll with it. Yeah, I see what everybody did. Yeah. So now I can do reset. Excellent. Now the raffle's reset for the next one. We've got 2 more giveaways coming up. 2 more giveaways coming up. We're going to have to get out to the moon, and we're going to give one at the end of the stream. SPC. It's SP. What? It's SBP or something. I don't know. I've got it written down. SPB. Yeah, I see it in there. I see SPB. 641 is in there. Yeah, you're good. I see it, Calvin. All right. Scamming is very much a thing in Twitch these days. For me, it was with his nickname. No, Tabakasi. I know. That's why I have him send it from his Twitch account to me, and I've wrote down the name so that I can confirm that the message actually came from the account that won. Thank you for looking out for me, though. Yeah, I was talking to Slim about that. I was definitely doing that. We are officially in orbit, y'all. We are officially in orbit. Destroyer James, we'll talk about that in another stream. I really need to get going with the stream here. I've got basically 3 hours to get you to the moon. Basically 3 hours to get you to the moon. So, here we are. Here we are in orbit around Kerbin. Our situation is currently orbiting Kerbin. Our situation is currently orbiting Curtin. Is the game Notepad mod allows you to see pictures in the game? Yes, it is. It's a mod. It is a mod. It's Notepad. It's Kerbal Notepad. My situation is currently orbiting Kerbal. Ay, ay, ay. My situation is currently orbiting Kerbal. And I don't want to orbit Kerbal anymore. I want to go home. I'm done orbiting Kerbal. I want to leave and go back home. So what we want to do, how do we change our situation? We spend delta V. We spend delta V. And in order to spend this delta V, we want to spend it in a specific direction, and see, sorry, we need to spend it in a specific direction such that our situation goes from orbiting Kerbal to not orbiting Kerbal. And in order to do that, we want to miss the planet less. Das Valdez phone home. What? Oh no, hang on a second. We need to miss the planet less. And in missing the planet less, there we go, we need to slow down. Right now we're going around the planet so quickly. Sorry, I had some of them distract me there. We're going around the planet so quickly that we are falling towards it at the same rate. Yeah, there we go. The same rate that it is, we are going around it. We're falling towards it at the same rate that it's curving away from us. Focus, Das, focus. Focus. What I want to do, I want to be worse at missing the planet. I'm going past the planet so fast that the rate that I fall towards it is the same that it curves away from me. I don't want that. I want to go around it less fast so that I actually fall towards it faster than it curves away from me. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to point retrograde. Right like that. That's what we want to do. What we want to do next, we want to just expend this delta V. I'm just going to burn it all out. 448 meters per second of delta V. And watch what happens, right? Watch our orbital velocity right there. We've got 448 delta V in the tank. Let's go ahead and fire up this engine. Maybe that's the problem. These are a lot louder. There we go. I think I changed the volume at some point. And I am just slowing myself down. Instead of going 2200, now I'm going 1800. That's about 400 meters per second. We slowed down. When we slowed down that much, what does our orbit look like? We are going to fall towards Kerbal. See that? We go slower, and now that we're going slower, we are going to actually hit the planet. That's what we wanted. We wanted to go home. All I did, I pointed at this little green X. That is anti-retrograde. That's backwards, right? Anti-retrograde. That's retrograde. It's anti-prograde. It's backwards. It's slow down. It's I'm going straight in this direction, and I want to do nothing except slow down. What's up, Wolfart? Slow down. So I pointed right there at that green X, and I burned out my delta V. And now, instead of situation being orbiting the planet, my situation is going home. So let's go ahead and time warp again. Beast Orion, you're going home. You're going home. Tell the world you're going home. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and time warp till we get back into the atmosphere again. We've built a rocket. We've talked about thrust to weight. We've talked about delta V. We've shown how we can spin delta V. We've shown how we can use thrust to weight to get off the pad. We've looked at engineer to see how we can figure out all that stuff. We've gotten people killed / in orbit. Kind of split the difference between the two. We've learned a lot of different stuff. Right now, Beastall here is going to go do his re-entry thing. Again, this doesn't hurt you in the stock game, right? But he has fallen down. Looks like he's going to be in the mountains a little bit. I guess we're just going to go with that. I'm going to go ahead and pop his chute here at 5,000. Oh, that's right. We added that in. We don't need that anymore. Let's just keep falling until that's 2 kilometers away. When that piece explodes, I'll pop my chute. Hopefully it gets far enough away. 52 meters, it may not get close enough to explode. I may have to pop the chute before then. Let's just pop the chute right now. There we go, Beastall. Wouldn't want anything to happen to you. Watch that down there. That's going to be a problem. Come on. Good thing he has a chute. Wow. Boom! Love it. And Beastall is safe. He didn't need that engine anymore. We just killed a goat with it or something. I don't know what happened. It's not responsible for deorbiting debris. The next thing we need to do is turn his ship into a lander and figure out how to get it to the moon. We need to turn this ship into a lander and figure out how to get it to the moon. That is what we're going to do coming up next. Let's get Beastall successfully saved here. He's coming down at 6.9 meters per second. Crash tolerance of the pod, 12.0, so he's good to go. Drink, Dosh, drink. People aren't telling me to drink very much. Gene, sorry, I am scheduled to go until about 10:30, so another 3 hours, Gene. Another 3 hours to do boot camp. Good times, good times. We do need a drink command. We need a drink emoticon or something. Congratulations, Beastall Ryan. You thought you were hanging out on the sidelines, and I just put you as the first Kerbal in the save in orbit. Thank you for the follow as well. Let's recover you. Let's go back to the VAB. Nope, I'm picking everybody randomly. I'm picking everybody randomly. Oh my gosh. Beastall Ryan Kerman made it safe. Let's go back to the VAB. Inderace no. Haven't heard from Dr. Pepper. Short on Delta V. Sorry, I don't have any extra Delta V. That rocket right there got us to orbit. Let's talk a little more in detail about how we got to orbit. Kerbal Engineer, right, is showing me a couple things. It showed me my thrust to weight, 1.12 on the pad, which means that we would be able to take off 4,710 meters a second at Delta V. Do you remember what happened to this stage? Remember how we launched this stage and the Delta V increased the farther we got up out of the atmosphere? Remember how, as we got higher and higher, we were able to go ahead and, what did we do while we got up there? We were getting more and more Delta V because the engine gets more and more efficient. Let's see how we look at that in the game. Let's see how we look at that in the game. In the game, click on your propulsion tab. You can look at all these engines. You can actually right-click on any engine that's over here. Come on, Das. You can right-click on any engine, and you will see something called the ISP, engine ISP right there. You can see that this LVT45 has 320 ISP at ASL and 370 in VAC. What does that mean? Who even knows? I don't know. I mean, I know. I guess I do know. ISP stands for impulse specific or specific impulse. You can think of it as the fuel efficiency of the rocket. The fuel efficiency of the rocket. How much Delta V basically, not exactly, but how much Delta V you get for every unit of fuel you expend. And what these numbers are telling me, higher numbers are better, more efficient, right? It's like miles per gallon, not really, right? Or kilometers per litro or whatever the heck y'all do on the other side of the pond. 320 ASL. What does ASL stand for? Sea level. What is that sea level? Atmosphere. On Kerbin at least. So when this is at atmospheric is at sea level, where the atmosphere is nice and thick, this specific engine gets 320 specific impulse, miles per gallon, whatever you want to call it, right? In vacuum, when it gets completely out of the atmosphere and it is completely up in space, in orbit or whatever, it gets 370. So this engine, like most engines, this engine is more efficient whenever it's in vacuum than when it's in atmosphere. And why was this stage up here? It says 1721. We actually got like 1950 or something. We gained like 200 meters per second of Delta V just by lifting that engine and its fuel up out of the atmosphere before we lit it. That's what we did. That's going to help us when we go to the moon, right? So what can we look at here? Look, in Kerbal Engineer, I've had it in compact mode this entire time. Let's go ahead and put it in non-compact mode. Cybertech, is there a key shortcut to expand and detract compact mode? In Kerbal Engineer, I can see the ISP of each stage, 320. I also have a button here that says atmospheric. That will toggle you between sea level and space, vacuum, sea level and space. So what we've gotten here, we can actually see right now at sea level with 320 on that engine, the efficiency of the engine is 320, we are going to get this much Delta V. However, this engine, this stage right here, right, this LT45 that's in stage 2, right there, not the 30 at the bottom, but the LT45 that we've got in stage 2, it is not going to be lit when it's in atmosphere. It's going to be lit when it's in vacuum, or pretty darn close to it. So in Engineer, we can actually just click right there on atmospheric, and it will remove that. See how the ISP increased? 370. 370. Go back to atmospheric, 320. Out of the atmosphere, 370. It's using the different atmosphere, the different ISPs of the engine at sea level in Kerbin and up in space. Watch what happens to the Delta V. 1989. Oh, it's in space already. Whoops. 1721 on the launch pad if we lit it. If we carry it up into space and light it up high where the air is thin, we actually get 1989. So, when you design these crafts, you'll have a little bit more Delta V. It's a good buffer. It's a good buffer. But we have a little bit more Delta V than we actually thought. if we do the computations at sea level using Kerbal Engineer's atmospheric button right there. Now look at this. When it's in atmospheric mode, you can see that that's depressed. It's pressed in, right? Go with compact. You see right there how it says Atmos? That means that right now Kerbal Engineer is in atmospheric mode. It's using the atmospheric calculation, the lower ISP, the ASL ISP, to calculate this delta V. If you want, you can come over here, turn it off, and compact it again. See how it doesn't say atmosphere? Now it's using the vacuum ISP, the vacuum ISP. So that is how that works. And the trick is that different engines, take it easy, Cozy One, thank you for watching Kerbal Space Academy. Different engines get different ISPs. This guy down here is an LVT30. He's right here. That's telling me 320, 370. We've got these guys, I guess. These guys actually put out 290 and 320. So watch what happens if instead of this guy, I actually use engines that are less efficient. I'm going to use two of them because they're symmetrical. These engines being less efficient, only 290 instead of, what was it, 370? 320? Yeah, 320. These engines not only are less efficient in atmosphere, they're also less efficient up in space. I don't know if I was going to say something there, and now I forgot what I was going to say. 320, 370, 290, 320. So these are as efficient in vacuum as the other one is in atmosphere, and they are not efficient at all at sea level. But watch what happens. See how we've got 2588 in that stage? If we take those off and we put that on, we get 2989. So just by choosing a more efficient engine, right? Just by choosing a more efficient engine, we can change the delta V. Look at this. There is an engine in the game called a nuclear engine. It, if you right click on it, has 800. The other one was 370. This one has 800 miles per gallon when it's in vacuum. Look at this. It does not get very good delta V. Why? It gets 800 in vacuum, but it only gets 220. So when it's at sea level, it gets terrible efficiently. It's terrible. But when it's in vacuum, it gets amazing. Almost twice as much, more than twice as much as any other engine in the game. 800 efficiency when it's in vacuum. But look at this. I can come over here. I can turn it out of atmospheric mode. Look at that. 6,888. That's actually pretty nuts. 6,888. Delta V. What's the trade-off? The nuclear engine has insanely low thrust. See, it's got 60 kilonewtons of thrust. You can actually right-click on it. Max thrust 60 versus this engine has 215. The nuclear engine is very low thrust and very high efficiency. This is not a good engine to take off with. We don't want to take off with that engine. And you can mix and match things. Like this engine here, that's for bigger pieces, right? But that engine is going to have 320 plus 360. Some of the big engines up here, like this guy here, look at this. The Aerospike is a special case. It's actually 388 at sea level and 390 in vacuum, almost the exact same efficiency. Up here all the way at the top, this guy gets 320 and 360. This guy over here, he only gets 280 and 380. So this one is clearly designed to operate in atmosphere. This one here would be a lot more efficient up in vacuum. So you can shop around for engines. You already know how to look at the thrust. You know how to look at the thrust to weight. You can change the delta V by choosing different engines. Just remember that you may have to pay a thrust to weight penalty in order to do that. We're going to go like this. And we're actually going to, that's the boot craft. Let's start over. Wait, no, I'm just going to say boot Mooner Lander, right, like that. There we go. Let's just save it as a new name so I have that original one. Let's talk about turning this guy into a lander, right? We want him to get to the moon, and we want him to land on the moon. What I'm going to do, make sure this is in atmospheric and compact it down. I'm going to go like that, and I need to make this guy into a lander. If we're landing on the moon, we're only going to use the engine in vacuum, so we should be shopping around for an engine that doesn't weigh very much, that has really good efficiency in vacuum. So I'm going to look at engines over here. This little guy, he doesn't weigh very much. He's 350 in vacuum. That's actually not as efficient as this, but he weighs a lot less. That's an ion engine. Let's not worry about him right now. That's a different type of fuel. This guy right here, 290 in vacuum, plus he's got 4 thrust. That's terrible. 4 thrust, 290 again. It's probably not going to land on a mainsail. The Poodle, okay, there's a Rockomax Poodle that gets 390, so 20 more in vacuum, and it only weighs 2.0 tons. But unfortunately, the Poodle is not designed for this rocket. It's designed for bigger things, because you don't want to be landing on a plate like that, right? What I'm going to do is look at this engine right here, the LV909. The LV909, a half ton, Okay. 50 thrust. Okay. 390 efficiency in vacuum. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and grab the LV909 and put him right there. And we can see that in atmosphere, this pod by itself gets 2252 with 1.36 thrust away. Let's look at what it gets in vacuum. In vacuum, it gets almost 3,000 meters per second at delta V. That is really good. That is going to be very good for us landing on the moon. It's going to give us a lot of extra leeway to land on the moon and to get home. Let us begin to make a lander. I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm going to go with this little low pro engine. There are other engines we could use too, but I'm just going to stick with this one. Wait, who do I see over in chat? Slim! Slim, I can't talk. I can't say your name. Slim, what's going on, man? How's it going on? Did you see that we have credits now? We totally have credits. You can earn credits for watching the stream. I put you as the person who referred me. It's awesome. Yeah. Getting a PayPal error. A PayPal error, really? I don't know what that is. B the Nabal. We were getting some donations earlier. I'll have to look at that and see what the deal is. Kerbal is greater than life. DOS not yet looked through the parts. Wait, I don't even remember what that's up to. Dude, Earthworm Slim, what's going on? Yeah, it is. Foxhound Ghost, it's in kilonewtons. It's in kilonewtons. Our Bremer, we'll get there. We'll get there, yes. Good call, though. Good call, though. Let's see here. I'm just reading through the chat. Progen Souls, how's it going? Awesome. Short on Delta V. Can't borrow any. Alright, we got all caught up. Earthworm Slim, welcome to the channel, man. Guys, welcome to the channel. Have a look right here at Earthworm Slim. I follow Slim. He's crazy. He's been playing exploding Legos lately. But if you want to follow an all-around good streamer, give old uploading a ship. Not going to do it in this stream, Quad, but I'll do it another time. Hosts, look at all the hosts there. Nice. Bevo, Nubius, Smegco, Tie-Dye, Solo Asylum with the host. Thank you, guys. Earthworm Slim. I follow Earthworm Slim. He's playing exploding Legos. It's like World of Tanks and Legos where you build your own tank. Slim, thanks for dropping by. F5 bot. Yeah, right? F5 bot just said some people hosting a Slim. I totally got that from you. It's not. It's a deep bot. Thank you for helping me out with that stuff. Drink. I need to drink. Snuggly Squid, there will be a help desk tomorrow. It needs more main sales. Shh. Meatbait, what's going on? Musical tanks. Das, how do we know if an engine has an alternator? I'll talk about that when we start to do that over here. Let me see if I missed anything else. Next, docking training. Bilal, you come to my stream tomorrow and I will show you how to dock. We'll do Kerbal help desk. You come to my stream tomorrow. Say, Das, I need help docking. And I'll be like, thank you for calling the help desk. My name is John. And I will show you how to dock tomorrow. I will show you how to dock tomorrow, Bilal. Alright, we got all that. Go to channel chat, you can host Das Valdez, trust unhost to stop it. Alright, let me check a couple things here, and then we're going to turn this guy into a lander. We were just looking at the Delta V and the engines. Let me see here. I'm over here. I'll go over there. There we go. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Apparently, I have exceeded my donation count limit with PayPal? What that means? Huh. Alright, well, let's just put this stuff in here. Let me fix this right quick. Apparently, there's an issue with my PayPal right now. Huh. It is a paid service. StreamTip is a paid service, and I paid the invoice for it. I'm gonna have to look at this. Just a second, y'all. Just 1 second. Let me fix this. Somebody was saying something. Apparently, too many donations came in over the last couple days, and PayPal's not happy about it. Okay. There we go. I apparently have resolved that, and it's not complaining to me anymore. So I guess we're good to go. Yeah. I guess we're good to go. I apologize about that. I had to fix something right quick. When does help desk start? Tomorrow. It's basically just going to be all day tomorrow. Gonna be all day tomorrow. Coffee. I already have a commercial account. I was missing a bit of information that I needed to add to the commercial account so that it could go above a certain level or something like that. Apparently, yeah. Apparently my PayPal was broken. I apologize. If you were trying to send a donation, somebody said they were sending a donation. I am raising... It's a good problem to have. Yeah, it was a count. I exceeded some count per time or something, and it wanted more. It wanted me to confirm my commercial account, my business account. So I've got it fixed now. I've got it fixed now. I buy shirts on eBay. I'll do that another time. Yeah, I got it, Coffee. Thanks, by the way. Thank you. Now I think it's fixed. If anybody tries to do that and it's not fixed, let me know. Until they like ask for somebody to test PayPal by sending me a donation. Anyways, I've missed some follows, folks. We're up to 2,700 followers. Scarface, welcome to Kerbal Bootcamp. Feral Sven, Fanfer, Pound, Manfred, Eater of Dreams. That's pretty hardcore. RC Mill, M1 Epic, Happy Tanker 02, Drastic Rex, and Dimison. Guys, thank y'all for the follows. I do appreciate you enrolling in Kerbal Space Academy. I hope you're learning something. I hope you're having fun. That's what we're trying to do. If you're looking for the donate thing, you can actually scroll down. You can scroll down, and there's a thing that says support. Guys, I'm trying to do this as a full-time job. I've got a lot of experience as a trainer, right? And I started doing these streams to build video evidence for my resume, right? Because I worked for one company for a long time. Midge PV, thanks for the follow there. I worked for one company for a full time, and I had to change what I was doing for them, and I've got a lot of experience doing training, but I didn't have any videos to show that I was good at doing online training or interaction or answering questions or anything. So I came over here to Twitch. I was just like, well, I know Kerbal Space Program. Let me go ahead and, you know, do a stream of Kerbal Space Program and report it. And then if somebody asked if I had experience training, I could point at this and I'd be like, I've actually got some videos you could watch, and, you know, it's for a game or whatever, but you can see that I interact with people and I'm able to convey technical topics to non-technical people using the internet, right? Because I'm looking for a job right now. And this went like crazy. All of a sudden, hundreds of people started watching me, and then donations like that started to come in. Dude, Coffee. That's not exactly... I mean, I don't know what sort of company you work for that runs tests of that size through your testing system, but Coffee, man, that is a ridiculous donation. I do appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Testing 1, 2, 3. Also got to feed the Dr. Pepper habit. Coffee, I'm glad you don't give me too much trouble for not drinking coffee. Maybe that just means it's more for you. Oh my gosh. I apparently have fixed PayPal. Holy, whoa, wait a second. Okay, so Coffee hits me with a donation that is a big donation. And then Sundhog92... Thanks for what you've done to KSP. 380 hours plus and counting. KSP might be the biggest thing happening to the public interest in space since Kennedy or Sputnik, with the exception possibly of SpaceX. I wonder if we could get sponsored by SpaceX. Has Squad ever talked to SpaceX about that? Sundhog, that is nuts. That is nuts, man. That is absolutely nuts. Thank you so much for that. 101, 32. Coffee as well. There was another... Alright, that's not what we were doing. We weren't like going to pause the moon landing or anything until we got X amount of donations. That's not it at all. Sundhog92, that is an insane donation. Coffee, that's insane donation times 0.5. Which I appreciate just as much. Pacific 29ifer. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Pacifier or something. Here's to keeping KSA on the air. Love the stream. Pat 29ifer. Pat 29ifer 35. God. Thank you so much for that. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and stare at this. Guys, Coffee, Sundhog, and Pat 29ifer. How do you pronounce that name anyways? Well deserved. I don't even know. Tell me how to pronounce your name. I don't even know. I'm not gonna cry. You guys can't make me cry. There's no way. I'm not gonna cry. But I am trying. $1 billion! Nice, Slim. I'm not going to cry. That's not going to happen. You guys are awesome. I'm going to get back to the rocket. Monop87, Midge PV, I got you. Heat Killer, thank you for the follows, y'all. We're over 2,700 followers now, which is insane. The 3 donations that came in, thank you so much for that. Guys, I am trying to turn this. I don't know how we can turn it into a full-time job. I don't expect to just live off tips, right? I would love it if there was a company or something that wanted to promote space or learning or whatever, who had something in their budget, you know, to do this sort of making people excited sort of thing, you know. But I really want to do this as a job, and I really do appreciate all the donations, which will keep me going until we can find something like that. Because that is what I use to buy equipment that I need. That's what I use to improve the stream. That's what I use to get things like the bot that we're using. We actually use some of the donations to buy keys to give away. Also, Squad has donated some keys. Those the keys we're giving away are donated by either viewers who donated a key or Squad donating keys. So I really do appreciate it. I really absolutely do appreciate it. Just PA28. Got to keep Dawson Slim on the air. Dude, PA28, thank you so much for that. That was another one. That's Boot. Been a while since my last subscription. Keep it up, Dos. That's Boot. Thank you so much for that. In the honor of all the donations that have come in, I really do appreciate you guys. I am going to work on building this thing into a Mooner Landing Craft. A Mooner Landing Craft. Remember the impact tolerance? I need to drink. Remember the impact tolerance, right? Alright, there we go. Remember the impact tolerance. Remember how different parts have different impact tolerances, right? We've put this 909 engine on the bottom. What is the impact tolerance? 7. So if you think you're a good enough pilot to land on the moon and touch the moon at less than 7 meters per second, you could go to the moon, right? If you're not as an experienced pilot, there are some things in the game that can help you out. On this tab over here, the utility tab, you've actually got some landing gear. Down here at the bottom, see this LT1 landing strut, the LT2, the LT5? You've actually got landing gear you can put on the craft. And when you extend them, you could actually land. Now, there are different landing gear in the game, and those right there, not going to keep the engine from hitting first. Not going to keep the engine from hitting first. Excuse me. Robota, take it easy. We don't want those. Those landing gear are not long enough. We're going to need to find some bigger ones. So let's go and grab these things. These seem like they will be big enough. Let's go ahead and you can right click on them in the VAB and you can do, oops, I missed it. There we go. You can right click it and you can do retracted. Those landing gear are probably a little bit too big. I mean, what's the big deal though, right? You have landing gear. Who cares if they're too big as long as they protect the engine? Well, remember, every time you add something, like those goo pods I added, every time you add something to the rocket, you're increasing the weight of the rocket, you're decreasing your thrust to weight, and you're decreasing your delta V. So watch up here. 1942 delta V with these gear on, take them off, 2252. So it cost us 300 delta V to carry these gear around with us. Maybe, instead of just spamming the largest gear possible, maybe what we should do is find some smaller, more reasonably sized landing gears. These LT1s. Let's put some LT1s on here. In fact, I'm really bad at landing. I want to put lots of LT1s, right? When I put all these LT1s on there, that's 1942. I can go ahead and put them down. That looks like a pretty safe way to protect that engine. You'd have trouble destroying the engine like that. But we don't need that many. I put 8 on. Instead of 8, why don't we try 6? 2011. Why don't we try 4? Oh, wait, that's 6 right there. Oh, no, 4. Yeah, 4. 2085. 4 isn't bad, but if I'm really trying to save weight, I don't even need 4. I could just go with 3. Just like this. Let me actually put it on this side. And I could put 3 landing legs on it just like that. So that's a good compromise between having landing stability, not having to land on your engine, but not adding too much weight to your craft. It would be really great if we could make these long enough, right? If these would fit and protect the craft, those would be even... Oh, that's so close. Jeez. We could probably land it like that. Oh, wow. I'm torn. The thing is, those right there, their mass 0.15 or 0.015, right? Not very massful. The ones we have on there right now, 0.05. Those big ones, 0.1 each. Each landing gear has a different mass. And these right here are long enough to protect our engine, but not a lot of mass. Not a lot of mass. One and a big SAS. That's hilarious stuff, guys. So, we've got this. It's looking pretty good. It looks like it could land, right? Maybe it doesn't look exactly like the Apollo mission or anything, but this right here is what we're doing. I am going to go, and I know there's some other tricks we could do. We could use some structural elements to move it around, but for this, I'm just going to leave it like this, right? Let's see here. Straps. Alright. I've got the landing legs on there. I've got 21-24 meters per second of delta V. In atmosphere, I've got even more on the moon. I've got 2762. That's actually really cool. 2762. There's some things we could do, but we're going to keep it simple for the stream, right? We're going to try and keep it simple. I am also going to need, I mean, when we land on the moon, this guy's going to be up here. The surface is going to be down here. I've got to have one way to get down, right? You've actually got a ladder in the game. You don't want to put it on with 3x symmetry, just put it with 1x symmetry. And you can actually install a ladder on the side of the craft so the Kerbal can crawl up and down it, right? Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let me do that. There we go. That looks good. You don't have to have a ladder because remember the jetpack that we were flying around with earlier? On the moon, the gravity is low enough you can actually use the jetpack to fly up and get into the craft. But just for the sake of this, I'm going to put that ladder on there. The ladder is 0.005, so watch the delta V, 2762. When I take it off, 2762, it's so light that it barely affects it. Yeah, it doesn't even affect the delta V. So we're good to go. Progen Souls, what's going on? You've said it like 4 times. There's no reason to spam, man. Alright, so we've got that on there. What else do we need? Somebody asked a good question earlier. One of the things that we need in order to control a spacecraft is electricity. If we don't have enough electricity, we may not be able to control the spacecraft. We may not be able to run the SAS modules. We may not be able to run the reaction wheels. We may not be able to light the engines. If we don't have enough electricity, we may be in trouble. So, right now, if I right-click on this pod, I can actually see that I've got 50 electric charge on here. But that's a donation. Dude, riding to hell in a handbasket. Thank you for showing us how to play KSP. Dude, riding to hell, thank you so much for that donation. In your honor, I will continue working on the lifter. Or on the lunar lander here. Thank you so much for that. That's like that's a very solid donation, man. Oh my gosh. And I do have, down at the bottom of the channel, I do have a list of donators, and I add it up over time, and I'll add up the levels and that sort of stuff. We'll have to figure out, you know, if I keep it up or if I reset it every month or 6 months or something. But I am going to update that at the end of the stream. Riding to hell in a handbasket. Thank you for that donation. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate you keeping KSA on the air. Like I said, Kerbal Space Academy is made possible through generous donations of viewers like yourself. I really do appreciate it, though. Thank you. So, we were talking about electric charge when my ears exploded due to donation hype. Electric charge, we have 50 in there, so there's a battery in this thing, and it'll have 50 electric charge. However, we have no way to get more electric charge. How can we do it? Why not update now? Why not update what now? I'm missing that, Sundog. Keep it up, but why not update now? Update what? What do you want me to update? I'm confused. Update what? Let me see. What do I need to update? I'm totally missing something. Sundhog name got my attention, right? Tell me what you need to update. Answer me, and I'll totally have a look at what you're talking about. Oh, update the list of donators. It takes me a little bit. I've got to go download a CSV file, and then I've got to run it through a processor that I have that spits out a text file. Then I've got to take the text file into my text editor and replace line breaks with commas and that sort of stuff. It would take me a little while. Maybe I could do that during a break, or I'll do that during the next donation. Or sorry, yes, I'll do it during the next donation. I'll do it during the next the giveaway whenever we land on the moon. That is what I will do next. So we've got this. We're talking about electric charge. We don't have a way to get more. Luckily in the game, we have a couple different options for getting electric charge. I'm going to go with the solar panels. So I've got these little solar panels like this. I'm just going to toss some solar panels on there. That's all you really need, right? You don't really need a lot. You need to write DOS a script, right? If it could do the downloading of the CSV and the saving of the CSV in one place, that would totally be work. So we've got some solar panels on there, and the good news is, as long as we have sun, we'll be able to get more electricity. We're going to have to keep them pointed at the sun because if they're in shade, they won't be able to generate electricity. But there's a couple different solar panels. There are some of these called the Gigantor XL solar arrays. Look how big they are. Why would I not put these on? Why? Chat question right now. I'm just going to do me quiz. Why do I not want to put those things on? Why do I not want to put these on instead of using these panels? What is the deal? By the time you see it, you'll already have answered it. But if I put these on, why should I not do that? They're electric, right? I could totally do that. What is the big deal with putting them on? SP! SPB641, got it! Mass, right, the weight. If I add these on like that, right, like that, look at that delta V, 2189, 2762. Putting these huge, insane solar panels on here is a lot of weight. Look at them. 0.35 each. I'm adding 0.7 tons, I'll say, whatever, kilotons, whatever. Because they have no underglow, I love it. I'm adding that much weight to the craft, which really kills my delta V, so I don't want to use those. Dude, before I forget, I have to do add SPB. Where was it? Mass. Weight is fine. Wait, I'll allow weight. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done it. Maybe I should have done it to Cool Whip. In fact, I'll give it to SPB 641. 641. I'll give you 5. Is it add 5? It's add 5, isn't it? Yeah. I'll give you 5 because you said weight, but I'll also give Cool Whip some because it's mass. Mass. The actual thing is mass. So let's do add Cool Whip. I think I did that right. 5 to Cool Whip. There you go. 641. There we go. Cool Whip got it right. It's the mass. Weight is the gravity affecting a mass. So either way, it's about the same thing. You each got 5 extra Academy credits for answering that. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. Be looking when I put that quiz in there. That means in about 15 seconds, I'm going to ask the question. Oh, you're right, Powin. That's another good point. They're overkill. They generate so much electricity. We don't need that much electricity. That's a really good point, Payon. That is an absolute good point. These other things, we've got smaller ones, right? We've got these little small ones. But look, they also cost us small amounts of delta V. See how we go from 62 to 26? So when I put those on, I lose a little bit of delta V. The cool thing about these, they weigh so little. They weigh so little they don't actually change the delta V. They're actually a physics-less part that are not used towards the delta V calculation. So I'm just going to go with those. We're just going to keep it simple. Anything else? Anything else? If somebody comes up with a compelling thing that I have forgotten on this craft, you can get another 5 bonus points. But this Mooner Lander is looking pretty good. We've got control authority. We've got fuel. We've got an engine. We've got landing legs. We've got Kerbal mobility enhancement. We've got solar panels. We've got a way to decouple the pod so it's safe. We've got a parachute. What else? Drink, thank you. Wing trajectory. Landing lights. Alternator. I don't think we'll need an alternator, Dr. Pepper. Light. I like that one. Needs more struts. Cadriel! Cadriel got it. Wait, Cadriel got what I was looking for. Cadriel got, I had one thing in mind. Cadriel. Here you go. Did I spell that right? Yeah, Cadriel, Cadriel. Dude, Cadriel, you get 5 because you said dorsal battery. Lights, yes, we'll do lights. But lights wasn't enough to get any credit there. Dorsal battery was the winner. Cadriel, what color do you want this light to be? Let's just do 1x symmetry there. Lights apparently don't weigh anything because my delta V is not changing. And I've actually got 2 kinds of lights. I've got a round light and a non-round light. And again, you can hold down shift. There was a donation. I almost don't even want to click on it. I could put these down. I don't want to click on it and see what it is. Who was it? Doc Dat. Thank you for the donation. I really do appreciate it. The donation train continues to make my eardrums explode every time it goes off. I have it like cranked way up so that there's like a physical reaction from me whenever the donation goes off. I'm like, but Doc Dat, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Doc Dat, for attending Kerbal Boot Camp, being a part of the community. I really do appreciate it. We've got the lights. Let's see here. Battery, wind trajectory, light, dorsal battery, Cadriel. Did Cadriel say what color?